team currently. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have an asking on the map. So we're going to see full strength Snakes to kick things off in this series against Orgless and Hungry.
And the big question he'll be asking is whether or not this holds out for the full series. Of course, everyone's got their fingers crossed because Snakes, when they are at full power, look phenomenal. Zapri kind of thinks it's somewhat in the shadow of asking, or so it has been in a lot of discussions throughout Contenders. But this guy last week, he was absolutely incredible. I've got a lot of eyes on him and seeing how he performs. And the guys mentioned the tank matchups as well. That's going to be a big deal. Cave with a nice cheeky little boost out the gate there. Straight into Mercy. Nothing too surprising coming through.
What's surprising is Denny is keeping on
flank.
the Lucio. They're doing full rotation. They're going straight up to Kodak. Legday is going in. Kevster finds Zapray. This whole flank got the target that they weren't expecting, but still makes it dead. Kevster again. We thought asking was the McCree master. Kevster's giving him a lesson as being Stan. Cave's going to bring him back into the fight. And already, Snakes and Orgless have gone straight at each other. And Kevster getting a little bit of attention on the back line from the Tracer player. Zapray still contesting over this point. Asking on the ground level. Pulls out the Storm Arrow. Tags through. Shreds through. Gets all those kills. Snakes get the first cap in an explosive start to this matchup.
We just lacked the real explosiveness from Orgless and Hungry there. When Kevster got those 2 kills from on high, he was completely uncontested. They were the opening kills, the dream almost for Orgless and Hungry, but Snakes managed to stay on point. The respawns came back through, and the ult bars tell the story here, I feel. They've managed to get 3, make that 4 online. They were just kicking out the damage in that final fight, whereas Orgless and Hungry, they're flailing a little bit.
Well, speaking of flails, Kevster has switched over to Brigitte, going to have his ult charge reset. Having Coalescence Crisper with the big shout into Kevster, and of course Latex, so it's going to be advantage Snakes yet again on this second attempt from Orgless and Hungry.
It feels really weird seeing Orgless and Hungry playing this Goats comp so slow. This is what Goats is designed to do, is to run at someone and make sure they die almost immediately. But every time they're trying to push onto Chris, it's like, well, no problem at all. I've got a bubble on me, I've got my Earth Shatter. If we really need it, we've got the Transcendence, but they didn't need it there. They just always seem to have an answer to what Orgless and Hungry are throwing at them. Yes, we're only 50% of the way in, but Orgless and Hungry so far, off to a slow start.
Latex has got his Earth Shatter, going to throw it onto the back line. Multiple members. Chris comes in back to support. There's already 2 kills in favor of Orgless and Hungry. Asking's going to horizontal dash back into the fight. Still getting a lot of attention. The pocket isn't enough to save him. Orgless and Hungry going to flip the point at 61%.
Yeah, Chris versus Latex is one of those big discussion points for this series. And so far you've seen 2 big shatters, one from either side, literally deciding the fights from the moment the word go was uttered. Good start. Zapri need to see him a bit more thing on this Pharah, and now they switched over to it off away from that Tracer. It does give them that control. Very, very good comp playing against shield comps because you can just spam rockets, you can spam arrows into it. But Reinhardt's shield doesn't last very long. Graviton
Surge pulls Snakes together. They're going to send the self-destruct in. There's the charge. A protective barrier will keep Cave alive, but they lose Asking and Christopher. And finally, Casper going to shred through. Snakes going to have to reset. 2 fights Snakes. 2 fights Orgless and Hungry. These teams are evenly matched, and if we get a flip here, we're getting even more evidence of that.
The big difference is that Snakes have taken away the Zen. We spoke a lot yesterday about the Zen versus Moira in this triple tank style setup. Of course, Snakes aren't running that right now, but that Transcendence on side could be the big winner for them. They do have that Fable Graviton Dragon Strike combo. We may see it come out here in a fight. Pray to God that Leodes doesn't eat up that Graviton Surge. There's a big shatter again.
Big shatter to knock him down. Epps is holding on to the Coalescence. Denia takes out Heiko and Cave. The aggressive positioning from Orgless and Hungry won't let Snakes get anywhere near the point, and they're about to match their percentage on this capture.
They're basically ignoring Asking, which is probably the most impressive part. Zapri as well. Both of those guys have barely had any room to start picking off kills in these fights because it's all so close together. This is the opportunity, I think, where you want to take a Brigitte and try and roll it, but Snakes, Asking has never really been a Brigitte player. They've never really rolled 3-3 so far throughout Contenders. So you can understand why they're struggling here, but let's see what they can do with 6 ultimates, Tridd.
I think Orgless and Hungry respected that, played a little bit further back, knowing that they have to have some more time to let this funnel through. Grab Surge is going to be good, falls onto the team. Dragon Strike comes through to complete the combo. Sound Barrier comes out just in time to keep them all alive. But here comes the Transcendence from Kodak. Zapre gets that barrage off. The Knight and his Squire are going to be the victims of the barrage, and they're looking for one more. Asking with the Storm Arrow, gets the dink onto Epps. That's going to clean up Orgless and Hungry. There's going to be another flip at 99%.
Well handled with the sound barrier coming through at the very least, but then Zapri, we spoke about him at the start. Again, you can't write this guy off. Yes, Asking may be the shiny name we're always speaking about, but Zapri has impressed me all season long so far, and with a nice rocket barrage like that, you can see why. Both the Brigitte and the Ryan goes, no shields left, the team will be wiped off the back of that.
All advantage technically in favor of Snakes. They're about to get that Dragon Strike. They've got the Earth Shatter and, of course, the Valkyrie. Just a grab surge from Orgless and Hungry to pull it together. And here it comes, going straight through the map. The Graviton Surge comes out afterwards. Don't believe it's pulled too much in, but Asking still found a kill onto Epps with the Dragon Strike. They're going around the side, not going to pick main. Zapray's happy to just fire rockets into this tunnel. As it gets closer and closer to victory, Snakes are still getting crucial kills onto Orgless and Hungry. They have a three-man advantage, and there's not much Orgless and Hungry can do. I imagine this round is going to go over to the Snakes.
Does feel that way. Only the few stagger kills coming through. A bit of an interesting Earth Shatter at the very start from Chris. Didn't really catch anyone, but again, you've got these two trusty DPS in front of you. Makes work, and they managed to take away the first round or thereabouts. Castle could have thrown a Doomfist just for a bit of fun. Well,
they're going in for the stall tactics. Graviton Surge off the point will pull them away, but now you've got to contend with Kevster's Tracer. It is full stall for Orgless and Hungry, the results of which will ultimately be fruitless.
Good start for Snakes. Kind of how we expected the series to go, but when Orgless and Hungry got control earlier on in the round, they really showed that they can get these combos off. They can keep on rolling over a team like this, which is, as we said earlier on, it's a close series between the two. We're expecting to see that today. That first map, despite it going the way of Snakes, definitely showed that it's going to be a close one.
Moving on to Night Market now. Compositions usually shape up a little bit from Command Center. Snakes looking like they're going for that quasi-dive. They're going to have Zapray, Heiko, and Christopher on the forward mobility heroes. But you've got Asking sitting on the back line with the Widowmaker, which is really only enabled on this map in particular when it comes to Li Zhang.
It's interesting because the Overwatch League comp that you often see on this map comes in the form of a Widowmaker and a Pharah together. The Widowmaker exclusively to counter the other Pharah, and well, we always know what the Pharah does. She cleans up when she's given a lot of freedom in the air. But Orgless and Hungry, they're going to roll full dive here, so Asking needs to be careful. If they find the angle onto him, which is exactly what Latex will be looking to do, they lose all the map control, and this one could very easily go the way of Orgless and Hungry.
They're playing outside. I'm not sure where Snakes have moved around. They've actually gone all the way. They've gone for a peel again. They've gone straight on to Asking. Not been able to kill him yet. He's getting a lot of pockets from his team, but Snakes are hiding in his back corner. They've baited in Latex. He's jumped in, and he's gone straight for it. In the chaos, Legday's picked up a kill. They get the result they wanted from the tank, but Kevster finds another to make this trade go in favor of Orgless and Hungry, and the rest of the team follows suit. We thought that it was a clever strategy from Snakes, but it's completely been reversed by Orgless.
Orgless just kind of get a bit too much time there to move. We said they were the ones who were slow last time round, but Snakes gave them a bit too much room to breathe. And yes, they were kind of relying on Asking, getting a good position, being able to get a pick off, but the dive managed to get into where he was, and they weren't punished for it. The dive comes through, they pick off Kodak, end of story.
Zapray's only got the pulse bomb, and you see the control is over to Orgless and Hungry, but Snakes are getting bodies on the floor. Asking's gone over to that McCree. Immediate stun onto Casper as he dives into the middle. That was the flashbang from Asking. His team's going to clean that up easily. Moving back onto the point, gets Legday, gets Epps, the double tap, the triple tap for Denia. This is the Iconvol performance, making a comeback.
Perfect position to play it as well. You're playing against full dive when you've got a Tracer and a Genji running around, no less Kavster and Casper. You've got to be able to deal with them nice and quickly, and Asking playing on this McCree, his signature go-to hero it feels alongside the Widowmaker. What a better time to bring it out.
High ground position taken from Orgless and Hungry. Just looking for that road they can take to get into the back. Latex going very deep by his team, but Asking shut down Casper already. He had an ultimate blade. He had that Dragon Blade ready to go. And look at the range. Asking can hit the close, he can hit the far. He's got all the McCree abilities in his toolbox, and he's going to have that Deadeye to close it out.
Orgless and Hungry are trying so hard to get onto Cave and Kodak, but the problem is you've got those three playing as a bit of a unit together with Asking sat in the front line. Not really where you imagine McCree to be. Sat in the front, taking the dive as it comes in, but he's dealing with these members incredibly well. Casper didn't even have time to pull out the blade there because he went so low. Now that Denia's got hold of the sound barrier, things may change because they can negate a good chunk of that damage coming out of Asking.
I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction. I think Asking's going to flashbang the Dragon Blade when it comes in. Pulling out the High Noon. Transcendence won't be able to get that kill. They're all hiding in the building, but still finds the double. How does he do it? Perfect timing to pull that one off. And he gets the third onto Latex. Snakes are in control of Night Market. Orgless and Hungry are floundering at trying to get this point.
Teams barely play McCree, but Asking is showing that it should definitely be a consideration for a number of them. Again, with that Deadeye, it was more an unlucky positioning for Orgless and Hungry. They didn't expect him to have held onto it for that long, I think, and, well, got punished for their mistake.
We're going to try an alternative route, this time going around the outside. No real boopers to get the environmental, but Zapray's already picked up Epps with a pulse bomb. He's going down. He's already used the Transcend. It's no major issue, but you've got Primal Rage and Sound Barrier to contend with if you're Snakes. The Transcendence comes out from Kodak. Here comes the Dragon Blade. That's going to overlap, but the stun comes out with the flashbang. Casper's got nowhere to go. 11 HP. Die for big health. Get yourself some more in the pocket. The fight's still going on. It's going back and forth. Christopher's getting Denia. Leoded's finally shuts down asking. There's no resurrection available because I don't think Cave's in the area, but they've still got highly mobile tanks moving on this point. Self-destruct's going to go in on there. Finds Kodak in the back line, but they're leveling out more kills. Leoded's and Eps are going to go down. The flip from Snakes might come into play here if they can just get a few more bodies on the points.
Christopher did so much work in that fight as well. Got himself 4 kills, most of them without assists, so he was putting down a lot of damage to be able to secure those. Asking once again with the Deadeye though, trying to find a target, no one's really around, looking for the Winston, gets blocked out by the D.Va. Beautiful
eat by D.Va to keep his Winston alive. Latex staying alive. Casper's moved over to the Soldier just to get back to the point, but now he's trying to spray through the Discord orb. Christopher, he's still above 50% HP. You're nowhere near to taking him down as the Transcendence from Eps going to top up the rest of August and Hungry. Keep him alive on this map. They're cowering in that Winston bubble, and it's Denia, Leoded getting the kills. Leoded again on the D.Va. This is going to be a flip over to Orgless and Hungry.
So scrappy between these two teams towards the end of it. It felt like when Snakes lost that earlier control with the McCree, basically picking off any dive attempts. Once that stopped and they managed to get themselves on the point, they're kind of getting a bit of a panic for Snakes in a way. Asking now going on to the Soldier as well. If nothing else to match Casper, I've got to say, if you came into the stream and just started watching, you'd have no idea what the hell was going on when there's 2 soldiers on the field.
We don't typically see a lot of that, Des. We usually see it, people flipping over to it just to get that mobility and get back to point, but Asking still doing work. Lands the Helix rockets, gets a couple of taps, but doesn't find the kill. Sound barrier coming out from Denia. It's a force back onto Snake. Someone got onto the point and touch, started making some progress. It's going to shut down afterwards. Here comes the tack fighter from Casper. Is it a target-rich environment? They're all confined in an area. He's got nowhere to go. The self-destruct. Heiko's hiding behind the bomb to buy himself more time to get the remech and manages to pull it off whilst getting the D-mech on the Leoded. Now it's time for Asking. Can he line it up? Denia is right in his face. Gets out the window. Latex, not so fortunate. There's no fire escape for you today. Kevster, Casper, he's going to go down to the Helix rockets as he gets blasted by Asking. The flip goes over to Snakes, and they just need to hold on until the overtime ticks down. Kevster being the nuisance, the tracer that has to come in and buy some more time for Orgless and Hungry.
Still trying to find the way in. They've got a couple of members coming in, both tanks and Wright, but D.Va is out of the mech. She almost got boots off the edge there, but still manages to lurk around. Trans is down the middle of this one as well, but to be honest with you, Tridd, Snake's on with the numbers, but Leoded's getting on to Asking is a big deal.
Kevster taking out Kodak after the Transcendence, and again Kevster, the D-mech, and the kill onto Cave, and finally cleans up Heiko. Kevster trying to put the team on his back, and Casper comes in from the top rope with Doomfist to take out Zapray. They're on the point. They've managed to flip it at 99%, Des.
This is insane. They've managed to pull it all the way back, but even Casper flying in the Doomfist is enough. They'll take it out to 1-on-1. We're going all the way to the 3rd round trip. We're going all the way to Gardens.
I knew this was going to be close. I didn't think we were seeing 99% overtimes on round 2 of Lijiang, forcing out the 3rd map. Historically on Contenders, in Europe especially, we see a lot of 2-0s on these first control maps. And now we're getting to see the 3rd map play out. Of course, we are going to the Garden. And it's where we're going to finish off and decide who takes the lead in this series from the out.
It's exactly the same sort of story again as what we were speaking about earlier on. Pharah Widowmaker tends to be the name of the game, at least for that first fight, and then the side that loses tends to switch and go for something else. I don't know, I thought swap and switch.
Swip and no
it's a new word I've made, swip, okay?
Okay, that's fine. We can go with that. I'm probably not going to ever use it, and no one else is, but that's fine.
Orgless and Hungry going to roll out once again with what we saw from Eagle Gaming yesterday, actually. Rolling out with the triple tank, but with no Zarya. You're looking for the picks on the Roadhog instead.
What are they doing here? They're just waiting to see what happens. They've got no one looking for the pick. Snakes taking control of the territory. Now they're going to move in. I think they were waiting for the amp it up to move in as a unit. Zapray's going to fall back to the team. Asking's got a good angle here from the side. Goes straight into the shield. That's a split Snakes. They've conceded the point by the numbers advantage. Casper's going to throw out the hook. Pulls no one in. They're going to give over a first cap to Orgless and Hungry when really they should have been in position.
They couldn't be in position because the comp they've got had no way of answering the triple tank coming against them. I think they knew that if they tried to contest it, they'd get themselves grabbed out. You saw both Tracer, the Widowmaker, and one of the supports was sat completely off the point trying to stay safe. Good call, but Zapray then has to go back on Tracer, switch over to the Pharah, and Asking has even gone onto the hand zone to contest this comp.
Broken down Latex's shield, but Leoded's going to get the kill onto Kodak. Gonna come back up, there's a tag, threads it through the terrain. Denny going to be protected by his mobility. So we're just going to keep on pumping the bullets through that bubble. Legday again getting Christopher, Heiko. Denny are going to follow up and get the exposed Diva. Nice tag from Asking, but it's still Orgless and Hungry in control, and they're still getting the kills. Denny going to shut down Zapray, and look at that, the hook from Casper to finish it off.
It came at the very end of the fight, so maybe not the most impactful, but that's why you want the Roadhog here, is to catch out these key members who are just lurking at the edge of a fight, generally looking towards a Zen or a Hanzo, maybe a Mercy who's trying to be a bit troublesome. It's very easy to pin someone down. And yes, you get the defensive capability of Zarya, and you get the Graviton Surge. This is exactly why you want to bring a Roadhog to the fore, though, because he is such a huge tank in the front line, thanks to that damage reduction he gets off of his... take a breather.
Zapray going to get some damage boost. Dragon Strike's going to cut off the approach from Orgless and Hungry, but now they can't get onto the point, and they're in the open for Zapray to rain rockets down from above. But the sound barrier going to compensate for the lack of terrain. Still unable to land those shots. Self-destruct's gone up by Legday after killing Christopher, so he's removing a tank, but nothing else. Casper on this Roadhog, looking for the hook, throws it up, just misses it by the skin of his teeth. Here comes Dragon Strike through the point. Another one for Asking. How fast is he getting these things?
That was about 20 seconds.
Move in. Missed another hook. Still having to contend with a Diva in front of him. Self-destruct on the point, forcing everyone around. Asking does take out Latex. Coalescence coming in against Heiko. Still, Orgless and Hungry have control of the point. Zapray, they got both supports. Legday's going to shut it down just a second too late. Snakes now have a support advantage to really press on to this point and start taking some names to recap and flip the point.
Asking with yet another ultimate as well. This guy is charging them like crazy, and we know he's capable of doing that. And in fact, Jaws is I remember actually when we first saw the rework come out of Hanzo, Jaws was saying he literally has Storm Arrow. If there's a Roadhog in front of him, that's a free 30 to 40% ult charge. And what's in front of him? It's a Roadhog. Casper on the other side, of course, going to be guilty, I think you could say, of donating a lot of ult charge over to Asking, but as of yet, they haven't really made those ults work out. Not that they need to, because they're the ones currently in control of the point.
That self-destruct was just to reposition Zapray forcibly, buy some time to migrate around into this section they're currently in. But the rest of Snakes are collapsing on them. They're going to send the Dragon Strike right in that avenue they want to run through. It's completely been shut down. They're going to tank so much HP trying to just get in here. Casper pulls out the whole hog already, trying to dismantle Snakes' positioning and entrenchment on this point. The fight not really going in their favor. They did get Christopher, but he's been brought back. Zapray, we're a barrage through the window. There's a finite window for Legday to get there and force the suicide. She's going to play around the window, but it doesn't matter because Asking already got Kevster. He's picked himself up Latex, and they're forcing Orgless and Hungry away from the point. 50%, they are nearly there.
Orgless and Hungry committed almost everything to that as well. The Coalescence coming through, they push through the Brigitte ultimate. Even the ultimate coming out of the Roadhog to try and create some space was not enough because Snakes cushion the blow and then push straight back in. Zapray with a great ult through the window once again, by the way. Always one to keep an eye on. Now they're trying to roll out with full dive, mind you. They've got the sound barrier about to come online. I don't think it's enough here, Tridd.
Sound barrier is only the ultimate they're going to be close to because of the mix-up. Asking completely removes that, not having any of the music coming through today. And it's a nice clean-up and a reset for Orgless and Hungry. No stagger kills out here because they know they're so close to losing this round and the map.
We speak a lot about Latex and Chris, or at least have done so far in this series, but one guy I really want to give a shout out to is Legday as well. He's been getting in that kill feed, he's been playing incredibly well, and if nothing else, has made Heiko looked quiet. He's just been very aggressive, and sometimes we bemoan aggression from Divas. He's doing work today and getting key kills for his team.
Sound barrier comes out, Dragon Strike, and we've set eaten immediately by Legday. That's the first one we've seen this map. Still going to take out Latex with his arrows. The self-destruct goes up, forces everyone to cower. No one's put themselves in a sticky situation apart from Heiko. He's going to drop his own self-destruct and split up the fight. No kills coming out. Asking again onto Casper. He takes out his fellow Shimada brother, and Zapray follows up with a D-Mate. The kill. Another one onto Derry as he's going to take out the support line. 99% overtime thinking now Asking's got another ultimate, and there's no one there to eat it. It's going to feel through and find Epps. His aim is true. No overtime's going to kick down, and it's going to be Gardens going over to Snakes, which also means Lijiang Tower gives them the lead in this series.
Apparently it doesn't matter if you eat that Dragon Strike because he'll have one back online again in about 15 seconds. The number of ults he had in that second round was insane, in part thanks to the very tanky composition that at least we saw Orgless and Hungry roll out with at the start. Just a really well-fought fight, I feel, and Asking especially, even in the position where everyone's diving onto him, still stays alive. Lots of good pockets coming out of his team, and the guy is doing work. And Zapray, what can we say? He reminds me of Shadow. Does absolute work on the Pharah, doing absolute work on the Brigitte. This guy is going to be in golden limbs if he keeps this up.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and a breather before we jump into that second map, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Overwatch Contenders Europe. We already have a lead in this series. It is, of course, Snakes taking Lijiang Tower and therefore the lead. We're going to move on to our second map, which is, of course, going to be hybrid. We'll find out what that is in just a couple of seconds.
And what I really like about what we saw in that first map was that, yes, Snakes won it away 2-1, but Orgless and Hungary definitely showed some flair and some fire that this series is going to be as close as we all imagined it would be. And as it stands so far, to be honest, there's a couple of times where, yes, Snakes have completely shut Orgless and Hungary down. If you were watching Night Market, you'll have seen it yourself. They just completely shut them down for the first 60% of the cap on that map, mainly in part thanks to Askins McCree. And of course, him and his team definitely making sure that work carried through to the third and final point. A bit scrappy at points, especially that triple tank coming through with the Roadhog in the mix. Did some work for Orgless and Hungary, but now they find themselves 1-0 down with Snakes in the lead, and they've now got to come up with the answer to deal with the Snakes. Well, the anti-venom, as you might call it. The
anti-venom, yes, I like that. I don't think Noodles are a good anti-venom. They might be able to absorb some of the poison, but I don't think they're really going to do much to cure it. Orgless and Hungary going to take on defense first, and they're going for the double sniper, and they got Leodet on the Zarya this time around instead of the Diva, just to back up Latex in what they assume will be a bit of a grudge match between the tanks.
Yeah, the first point defense is interesting on King's Row because you can run a large number of things. We've seen teams play on the high ground with the Orisa and take a Diva so she can at least go down, touch the point to contest, and then fly back up. In other cases like this one, you just go for the full tank setup and just try and sit on the point and try and be an immovable rock while your double snipers do work. I know me and you have cast some great games so far this season, Tridd, where we see multiple angles set up by the snipers, and diving Divas and Winston just have no idea who to focus on because you jump on one, the other one's dinging you in the back. That one that you're trying to focus relocates. It's really hard to lock them down. Usually the cure or the solution is to go for your own snipers. That's what we're going to see Asking rolling out with on the hand zone.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Chuckle Brothers.
No, it's a Widowmaker, sorry.
Bit of a Chuckle Brothers sketch. Double sniper for Snakes. They're going to match it. They think they scouted out, and they think they can take the mechanical matchup between them. Latex just holding the line. Already you can see the streak of Asking's bullets. Kevster holding a tighter angle, not got as much to play with, but still dinks onto the Diva. Gonna move around. You actually saw the silhouette there. Christopher has already found him out and is starting to hunt him down. Asking's gonna move around the corner. Already lining up. Haven't quite broken Reinhardt's shield. He's gonna be moved out the way. Zapre to then pick up the kill. With that man advantage, Snake's gonna move forward onto the point. And Zapre still got the Hanzo this time around. There's a lot of confined people in that hotel. Christopher comes back going very low. I don't think he got what he was looking for in the form of Kevster. Asking's on 8 HP. He's just cowering in fear. He needs some healing, man. Get it over to him. Just going to take a few shots. They got positional advantage. They just need to break out of this hotel for Orgless and Hungary and get back on the point. They got Latex back. They should be able to do it from behind him. And what a shot from Asking.
Up into mid-air as well. He's only sat on 71 HP here the whole time. He could literally get dinged out by a headshot from the Zen and he would go down, but no one's even looking at him once again. Asking with another mid-air shot will shut down the res coming through. This should be the push really coming through for Snakes, but they've really struggled to find an answer through them. A few members have been reset back, and in fact, Asking absolutely just going to go, you know what? I don't want this 1 versus 4 anymore. Peace out. But the Impresight is on the field.
That's a very ambitious res from Denia. Straight up in the sky, very exposed. He was asking to be shot there. No pun intended with that. Dragon Strike going to come through. Doesn't matter. It only gets one. Kodak and Christopher find the rest of the kills. Kodak again on the Zenyatta going to clean up, and Asking there to put the final nail in the coffin. Snakes, after their second attempt, will get that point.
It's very rare that we see something like a Dragon Strike do all the work to get a team through and into the next fight. Often it needs to be comboed with something to really make a big impact, or you're just trying to force a certain area. Key thing for Snakes there was they cleared the space and they immediately started picking up members. Speaking of picking up members, that's going to find a nice quick one to Chris.
Very unusual. Does get the resurrection. It was safe to do so. They had the numbers to go and back that one up. So Christopher going to come back after a little excursion too far into the Orgless and Hungary territory. We're now jumping onto the streets phase, and Zapre with the recon arrow kill onto Epps. That's always the worst, because like now they know where I am and where my team is. I'm also dead. Then he brings up the res. There's the Dragon Strike coming through the Transcendence, so no one's going to drop down. A self-destruct being thrown back at them. Finds Kevster. Casper has, of course, taken out Asking, so no Widows for both teams. Earth Shatter from Latex right in the face of Heiko. Christopher's popped that Primal Rage on the back line and started throwing those hands around. No one really getting any kills on the payload itself, so no progress being made. Here's Epps with the Transcendence. That should make it incredibly difficult for Snakes to get anything done. Gonna have to wait for that to expire, and you can see they fall back for a regroup.
Got to give some props to Chris as well. Last season, there were a few times where he'd go for a dive on Winston and find himself dead in the first few seconds. He'd be like, that's completely shut you guys down for a good few seconds here. He's actually managed to get in, harass and draw attention, and still get back out without dying, which does show what we've all suspected, and is that he has been improving so far this season.
Kev's doing a really good job of keeping Asking down. The Dragon Strike finds no one from Zapre, but he is getting those almost as quick as Asking did on Lijiang Tower. Cave's going to bring back Asking. Denny opts to go for Latex and bring back that tank to stop this payload moving. And Zapper at point-blank range is going to be able to shred through this. Graviton Surge. Here's the hammer to swing. It's an easy cleanup, but only 2 members of Snakes found in the chaos. It's enough to win in the fight, but it's not donating any additional ult charge for the rest of the team.
Yeah, Legday just chasing down the stragglers there. It wasn't really a big impact Graviton Surge, but didn't need to be. Just getting 1 or 2 kills meant the rest of the team went into retreat, and they could pick off those kills on the way out. So that's twice now this map really where we've seen ults that usually come together, such as the Graviton Surge and the Dragon Strike being used in isolation, and actually winning a team a whole fight.
Sometimes it's just enough. Like I said, it only caught 2 members, so only 2 members were there. It's very easy to win a 4v2, especially if they can't move. Gonna get themselves back onto the road, get them moving again. Zapray's almost got another Dragon Strike, just needs 30 more %. Christopher for the Primal Rage. The infra sights are in effect for Orgless and Hungry, so they were able to see where everyone was. Asking's got one of his own, so they're cheating now. Nice eat, stops the damage coming through for Zapray from the Flame Strike. Dragon Strike coming through, needs to reposition. Unfortunately, no one going to be found from that, just stagnates the push even further. And that's what a lot of these Dragon Strikes have been doing this game. Not getting the kills, just repositioning and buying more time for their teams. Big flank from Asking, coming onto the back line. Goes for the shot on Kevster, the Dragon Strike going to shake things up. Just going to get eaten and sideswiped by the Lightning Dragon. But the point, still not moving forward because they haven't won the ground war. Here comes Christopher from behind. Asking's also there for the cleanup. They should be able to get this moving. But if Latex is able to pick up Kodak like that, and Casper then onto Asking, what are you expecting to happen here? Zapray with the Storm Arrow, going to cut through them all. Latex will eventually go down. One more pick, the payload's back in motion.
It took Snakes a good 3.5 minutes to be able to break this first corner defense coming out of Orgless and Hungry. Not often that we see teams be able to pull something like that off. It's usually more towards the second point itself where you actually get the stalls coming through. So impressive stuff and a good defense. Exactly what we saw out of Snakes in the first map. Again, just to test how closely matched these 2 teams are.
1 minute 20 on the clock for Snakes. They're coming onto the home stretch of that second section of this map. You can see Zapray got a nice sight line. So's Kevster, really, when he's trying to get away with those tanks. Already getting tagged out. Graviton Surge from Orgless and Hungry pulls them all together. It's both tanks locked up, and the Dragon Stripe's going to sweep through them. A little bit more time bought for Heiko because of the D-Mech, but will still fall down nonetheless. So, eating into that final 1 minute for Snakes, and they're going to have to try and push through an aggressive positioning from Orgless and Hungry.
I was going to say, every single time we're looking at Asking in the top bar, his health is always below 50%. I don't know if he's intentionally trying to handicap himself or something here, but he isn't getting much attention from the healers because every single fight he's coming into, the main one he had with Kevster early on, he was on 70 HP, got some helping hands from a Dragon Strike, which always will, of course, win you that fight hands down. But even in that final fight there, he was walking away on just a few HP, and it was an easy pickoff.
One thing about Snakes is they really prioritize their tank play, and that comes from their coach KDG when it comes into the matchup. So a lot of those resources are going to be going into the tanks in the matchup. Dragon Strike comes through the back. Self-destruct on the back line. Nice. Double kill for Heiko. No supports for Orgless and Hungry. This fight, if they lose it, they don't deserve to win this map. They're going to run through and take out the final phase of King's Row.
If there's anything more satisfying for an attacking team than bringing down the Widowmaker, looming over every movement you do, it's getting both supports with one ultimate. Bringing them down just means that tank line cannot remain in the fight for much longer. You clear through, you get the second point, onwards towards the third with 1 minute and 25 in the time bank.
Still not long to play with. There's a bit of a distance, and we see a lot of teams get stagnated on the final phase of King's Row, especially on this corner they're about to enter to. And Latex knows that, wants to hold that line. Zapray gonna break through it with a kill onto Casper. They need to start following up. Snakes need to get more advantage here. They want to keep the payload moving. That is not an advantage. It's only gonna go over to Kevster when he takes that head clean off. Risky resurrection, but Kevster's not in position to take out Cave, who went for it. Here comes the Earth Shatter. Not many people put down. Epps actually takes off Christopher before he can land his own Earth Shatter, and he's going to go down afterwards. Latex with the charge, and there's a reset for Snakes.
Shadows coming out of both sides there. Latex the one ultimately who capitalizes, though. It feels that big charge at the end as well completely shut Heiko out. Good result so far. Heiko actually having to do a full reset as well. 0% now back on that charge. Zapray actually going to switch everything up here as well. Go towards. We never see them play 3-3, and now they're going to try and bring it out in a do-or-die attempt. So many teams are doing this season,
We
Tridd.
do get to see Asking Zarya, but the odds are stacked against them. They've got a Grab Dragon combo on the side of Orgless and Hungry. If Heiko can't eat this, it's all over. It's going to come through. There's the Dragon. It's finally made contact. Earth Shatter to follow up. The Shatter damage gets the kill, and the rest of Orgless and Hungry shut down Snakes. There's not enough time to get a solid push. Orgless and Hungry are going to end Snake push on King's Row right now.
Well, they played 3-3. That's what counts. Didn't really get to see it do anything because as soon as they stepped forward, they were caught up in that Graviton Surge. but at least it shows they're willing to switch to it, Tridd. So maybe my dreams of seeing them pull out the 3-3 and body some falls with it, it's still alive and well.
Maybe later on in the series, maybe on their defense. We know they want to pull it out on King's Row. Just depends on the circumstances that trigger it. But now, we need to look at Orgless and Hungry's offense. They know the distance they have to travel. They need to get at least 2 points on the board, and about halfway through the third, Snakes, ideally, they want a full hold here.
We speak an awful lot about asking a Zapri as well, but got to give some shout-outs to Kevster. His Widowmaker there, definitely the dominating factor for Orgless and Hungry. Every single time there was ever a move coming out of Snakes, he was there, he was ready, getting those crucial pickoffs, and to be honest with you, was quite an instrumental factor in them being able to hold down that point for so long. You saw when it all kind of fell apart was when Asking managed to get the flank on, that Dragon Strike came through and he went down. Again, it's the pressure of having a Widowmaker that makes some teams so hesitant to act that means that you can often just close things out.
Pretty confident in what Snakes have pulled out now as they're starting to head onto the point. Double sniper, so an identical composition to what was run by Orgless and Hungry on their defense. You're looking confused at the Orgless and Hungry roster. It's not, they're not going to run with that, I don't think so.
No.
It's a little bit too much on the damage side.
It would be a very interesting strat if they're running a Orisa on attack, I'll give them that much.
Wow.
It's very rare we see a Orisa on attack. But speaking on the other side, you mentioned the double sniper again. Nothing really changed from what we saw from the defense out of Orgless and Hungry earlier on. Same sort of scenario. You hold down the point with the tanks. You have the snipers taking up like different angles. You can even treat your Zen as a third sniper in this case. Give them a good angle. We've already seen what good Zenyatas can do in this league. They can just pick people off for free.
There we go. 10 seconds for the offense. They got about the majority of this map to go if they want to win and tie the series going into the halftime. Snakes holding off on the corner. Going to get themselves up onto the high ground position. They want to open up avenues of attack for Zapri and Asking. And already playing it close to the Reinhardt, as you'd expect. They're moving forward mobile. I don't know where Kevster is in this lineup. I think he's even further back. Right, first foot on the point for Latex. This is where it comes down to the wire. As long as Christopher and Heiko can win the tank duel, they'll keep the defense out.
Look how far back Asking is playing. He's all the way through the arch, just trying to play super safe until he knows where Kevster is. Because he knows that one single pickoff could be the end of this defense for them.
Epps knows exactly where Asking is, and that means the rest of the team does as well. The right click came through, forcing him to take cover. Very slow Overwatch. It should explode now. A kill onto Zapray means the man advantage. Cave's going to resurrect it. They know they have that res in the pocket, and then Kevster taking out Cave. Casper again,
the one
and
you
then
need.
onto Asking. That's going to be it for Orgless and Hungry. They're going to take point A, even though they put out a valiant charge by Christopher.
Slow Overwatch until you see a huge pick like that come through from Kevster. Getting onto the Mercy is always one of the key opening picks. Yes, again, a Widowmaker is fantastic, but if that Mercy is still on the field, the res comes through, it's like nothing ever happened. So getting it down at the very start, that's the big opening pick you're looking for. Great play by Kevster.
Substantial time back difference already for Orgless and Hungry. Moving into this second stage, they got 5 minutes to play. Here's the replay of that shot. Kevster finds it immediately onto Asking. He gets the dink onto Zapray and the spray down at the poison to finish him off. Back into the live gameplay. Resurrection on Kodak required after Kevster finds another pick. Already Christopher going low. He's being forced back for a Latex, and now the Discord orb. That's making the difference. Graviton Surge pulls them together. Chris needs some healing before he goes in. Gonna start swinging the hammer. Throws in the Earth Shatter afterwards. Seemed a bit unnecessary because it caught no one. It only secured the kill for Heiko.
Again, one of those really strange grabs. I'm not sure if Snakes are fully communicating when they're going to pop these out because there was very little follow-up coming out of Snakes there. They still managed to get a couple of kills off it, but Orgless and Hungry are still in this fight, and they're still starting to win Tridd with that double kill coming out from Latex. Make that a triple with another Fire Strike.
Well, Asking's going to try and level the playing field, but it's not enough. The Fire Strike from Latex was very strong there. Going to go for the headshot. Nice protected barrier. Makes it so easy. The distraction causes Casper to get that shot. The reason there was no follow-up, Dez, is because I pointed it out. Latex had no health. He was too low. If he drops that shield, they can kill him before he even starts swinging. It makes it really difficult to have that Reinhardt combination. No more stagnation. They go out to hit the 4-minute mark, make that 5 minutes 30 as they go on to the final point.
It was the grab surge out of Heiko that confused me because he dropped it down and thought, right, this is Snake's time. They can push in, they can win. Just didn't really quite come to fruition. On the other side, like I say, they managed to stay in the fight. Leo Dez has even managed to retain his ultimate. They've got that combo Tridd. That is all they need to round this out. All eyes will be on Kodak here with that Transcendence.
Look how far they need to push it. That Grab Dragon could be the last nail in the coffin for them if they can just get through. Asking, he's woken up, taking out Kevster. Not part of the combination. Nice cover dive from Denia to bring Kevster back into the fight. Earth Shatter onto the floor. Grab Surge, and he's going to have the Dragon Strike follow up. Casper finds Christopher. They're sitting in a Transcendence. He was able to burn through the damage. Cave with the Valkyrie, bringing people up, asking, taking out F. Zapray onto Latex. Latex has been a juggernaut for Orgless and Hungry. Him going down will shut down this push. But Dez, they've still got to burn through 4 minutes 45 of time bank.
It's a lot of time bank with only a few meters left to go as well. Big work being done by the DPS from Snakes once again. They're getting down both of the supports on the enemy side again means that tank line crumbles. Orgless and Hungry cannot continue their offense. But like you say, Tridd, 4.5 minutes. If they wanted to, they can mix things up. They can build full ult charges and then go for one big combo right at the very end. Instead, they're going to try and roll through with the Brigitte here and just try and storm their way through for the win.
It's already going incredibly low. That pressure from Zapray on the back line has been huge, and the Pulse Bomb seals the deal. Resurrection coming out from Denia. He's nice and safe back there, and he had some support to stop Zapray coming in. Hanzo versus Widowmaker, unable to find any tags. Self-destruct going to break up the fight. Everyone takes into cover. In the meantime, Asking still manages to find Latex. Going to take those shots as Casper takes out Zapray. He was the one causing backline problems, and now that means they can move up a little bit further, but he's back in the action. Cave comes out with the Resurrection. The Mercies have been able to get these safely for most of this game.
This is a big risk for Orgless and Hungry dropping the Widow, because now there isn't really anyone to contest. Asking, maybe you get a shot from Casper onto him, which shuts him down, but he's pretty much uncontested. There is no hit scan to be able to fight against him and get him out of those angles.
Look at the peel back there. As soon as they saw Christopher go in, they were able to then fall back and kill him. He does pop the Primal Rage to get Latex, and like you pointed out, there's Leo dead, nearly at 100% charge for another attempt at the Grab Dragon.
But the Transcendence is online for Kodak. We saw it happen last time. Asking with another big pick onto Denia. With both of the supports out of the way, this should be a nice pushback for Snakes.
Gonna be able to hold off a little bit longer. Still got 3 minutes 15 to burn through. Look at the high charge on Legday. You can even see it on him glowing, even without the UI. He's got that ultimate available. Kev's just going to mix it up again, going on to the McCree. That's probably to relieve his backline a little bit. They know Zapray's been giving them a lot of a hard time.
And Kev's is good. Yeah, with the McCree's an interesting swap. They have dealt with Zapray a few times with a nice couple of arrows coming out of Casper. Clearly hitting, and they need some more threat in the front line, something to really pin them down and get that traitor dead before she causes too much of a problem.
Grab Surge, there's the combo. Transcendence immediately comes out there, being boosted by the healing of Mercy in the back line. I believe that Dragon Strike was actually eaten by Heiko before he went down. I didn't see it come across the map there. Casper going to be on the back line, still getting the kill. So despite having that crucial combo disrupted, Orgless and Hungry win out the fight. It's only going to be drip-fed kills if they can just touch their point, and they can't. Orgless and Hungry going to tie the series going into the half.
It's what we expected at the very start. We did say both teams have come in with basically identical records, both on 6-map wins, 6-map losses, both at 2-1. This is the series to break the deadlock in the middle of the table and potentially give them a more advantageous position going into playoffs. It's exactly the series we expected so far. 1-1 could not separate these teams.
It's going to be hard to make any kind of assessments of how this series is going to go. Like you said, one apiece at the half, and I don't think either team has been underperforming in most stages. Few questionable decisions from Snakes with their ultimate usage in the streets phase. I will give you that, Des, as we pointed out. But for the most part, it's been a very good showing from both teams. We're going to think about, well, we're going to see what our analysts think about that.